everyone, and welcome back to our course on modern web development. My name is Arlen, and today we're going to set up our first Next.js project using the latest practices as per the latest version of Next.js, which is Next.js 14. We'll be using the app router, which offers a flexible and powerful way to build applications. Before we begin though, please ensure you have the following installed on your machine, which are Node.js and npm or yarn, up to your preference. So verify those installations by opening your terminal and running those two commands. And after you've done the checking, we should decide whether to use TypeScript or no. So basically TypeScript adds static typing to JavaScript, which can help catch mistakes early and improve code quality. However, since we haven't covered TypeScript yet, we'll stick with JavaScript for now to keep things straightforward and simple. And by the way, we'll explore TypeScript in future lessons once we are more comfortable with Next.js. But if you want to start using TypeScript early, you can just jump right in, because I didn't really learn vanilla JavaScript too much in depth, and I started developing with TypeScript right away. So again, it's up to your preference. So yeah, you can simply start with TypeScript instantly. Okay, so now let's create our Next.js project using the latest practices as mentioned earlier. We use the create -next-app, which basically allows us to include ESLint and Tailwind CSS during our setup. Okay, so the steps are that you open your terminal, navigate to your project directory here, and create a new Next.js app by simply copying this command. Or you can navigate to Next.js official documentation, which is very convenient to use. It has all the guidelines, rules, etc. So yeah, just copy this command and go to your GitHub code spaces and run it here. Now you'll be prompted with several configuration options. So okay, now just proceed here, and it's gonna ask you what is your project name. So press enter to accept the default or type your project name. In my case, it's gonna be Nozomio _ Next.js. Would you like to use TypeScript? We're not gonna use it for now. Would you like to use ESLint? Yes. We're gonna use Tailwind. We're not gonna use source directory for our own convenience. And app router, of course. And here, just click no. Now the script will create the project structure and install all necessary dependencies, including React, Next.js, ESLint, and Tailwind CSS. Now we just simply have to wait, and once everything is installed, let's navigate to our project first. So in our terminal, type cd and your project name. So in my case, it's again Nozomio _ Next.js. Once we're here, okay, now we can explore our project structure. So it has a bunch of folders and files. Okay, now let's start with exploring our project structure. And we're gonna start with our main folder, which is app directory. It contains your application's routes and components, as well as it uses app router for defining different routes within your application. Also, it has public and stylus directories, which you don't have right now, but you should create them, because once again, public, from our previous lessons, you know that it serves static assets like images, fonts, and icons. So it is more convenient to just store all those files inside one directory. And the other one is called styles, which basically contains your global CSS styles. So in the beginning of our project installation, we said that we're going to use Tailwind, so it instantly set everything up. And besides those files, we also have some associated with Tailwind, essentially. So tailwind.config.js, which is configuration file for Tailwind CSS. Also, we have postcss.config.mgs, which is configuration file for postcss used by Tailwind CSS. And we have a new one called next.config.mgs, which is basically a configuration file for Next.js. And obviously we have package.json, which has and lists our project dependencies and scripts. So some key files in currently are located within our app directory, which are layout.js and page.js. So layout is responsible for defining the root layout of our application, and page.js, you can just simply imagine it as homepage of our project. So once we go to our website, it's gonna automatically redirect us to the page.js. to the homepage. And now I would love us to go through the actual understanding of the app router, which is very important and what actually separates Next.js from all other JavaScript frameworks. So let's delve into how the app router works in the latest Next.js. So before that, some of the basics: that the app router uses the app directory to define those routes, and each directory inside app represents a route segment, and special files like layout.js right here and page.js define layouts and pages. And now we're actually going to create a new folder called about within our app directory, obviously. So create a new folder here and name it about. And within that folder, we're going to create a new file called page.js. Now we're going to navigate back to our lesson and copy some starter code to not waste our time. So let's copy the code for about page. Go back to GitHub Codespaces and paste it here, which already has some predefined Tailwind classes. And also we're going to modify our layout.js to include a header and some basic styling. So just delete this, go to our lesson again and copy this code. And also we're going to get rid of useless lines of code here. Simply delete those, and we're going to have a new homepage with some basic styling that Tailwind provides. And now we're gonna actually run the server to check if everything works correctly. So in your terminal, simply type npm run dev, and it's gonna start the localhost and redirect us to our browser. Now it's gonna load up, and as you can see, we have our website ready to go. So it is a homepage now. So it has like the whole hello world title, the footer. Also we can navigate between pages, so it has about page, home page. And once again, this is what separates Next.js from other frameworks. So by just creating a new folder within the app directory, like about that we just created, so we can simply go to the link and it will redirect us automatically. So once we create a new folder, it's going to create a new sub page basically. So that's what it does, and that's what app routing is. And once again, great job setting up your Next.js project today. And for the upcoming topics, we're gonna explore routing in more depth, because Next.js also provides dynamic routes and nested layouts, which are also very cool. So we're gonna explore that in the later lesson. And as for some practice exercises, it would be cool if you could create a contact page by adding app contact page.js and update some navigation and layout.js to actually include a link to the contact. So maybe customize the navigation bar so you can just interact with it and play with it more. And don't forget to use Tailwind CSS. So style your components using Tailwind CSS as desired. And if you don't know how to style your app properly, you can just simply go here, and it has a bunch of stuff. How can you set up the dark mode, how to add new utilities, function and derivatives, themes, breakpoints, and other very useful stuff. So yeah, thank you for your time and happy hacking. See you in the next lesson.